Netflix didn't just change how it measured viewership, it fundamentally redefined what watching even meant, effectively conjuring billions of phantom hours out of thin air to paint a picture of relentless growth. This wasn't a tweak, it was a strategic illusion, meticulously crafted to mislead Wall Street. By the end of this, you'll understand the precise algorithmic sleight of hand that allowed the streaming giant to present a booming engagement narrative, even as real user attention was quietly, steadily evaporating. You'll see how a seemingly benign change in a single metric can have profound repercussions, not just for a company's stock price, but for the very nature of content creation itself. For years, Netflix had been the undisputed king of streaming, a titan built on an almost mystical ability to predict and deliver exactly what viewers wanted. From its humble origins mailing DVDs in the late 1990s, it had morphed into a global entertainment powerhouse by the mid-2000s and early 2010s. Its growth trajectory felt unstoppable, fueled by an insatiable Wall Street appetite for subscriber numbers. Every quarter was a new milestone, every earnings report a testament to its dominance. They redefined home entertainment, pulling untold millions away from traditional cable and broadcast television. They were the disruptors, the innovators, the company that taught the world to binge watch. But this relentless pursuit of subscriber growth, this singular metric that dictated so much of its perceived value, was also a ticking time bomb. The market's obsession with new signups created an enormous pressure cooker. Then came the reckoning. The streaming wars exploded around 2019, 2020, and 2021. Disney Plus launched, bringing its vast library of beloved franchises. HBO Max entered the fray, armed with prestige television. Amazon Prime Video invested billions, and suddenly, every major media player had their own direct-to-consumer offering. The pie was getting sliced thinner and thinner. Subscriber acquisition became exponentially more expensive, a brutal, zero-sum game of attrition. The seemingly infinite well of new customers started to run dry. And then, it happened. In its Q1 2022 earnings call, Netflix announced something unthinkable. For the first time in over 10 years, its global subscriber count had declined. Not just slowed, but actually dropped by 200,000 customers. The market reacted with immediate, brutal panic. Shares plummeted by over 35% in a single day, wiping out $54 billion in market value. The narrative of unstoppable growth had shattered, and the company, once bulletproof, was now exposed, vulnerable. This was a crisis, not just of numbers, but of confidence. How do you recover when your core metric, the very foundation of your valuation, has failed you? You change the definition of success itself. The solution, brilliant in its simplicity and devastating in its implications, was a strategic pivot from the simple metric of subscriber numbers to the seemingly more robust, more impressive total hours viewed. But this wasn't just a switch, it was a redefinition of what a view even constituted. Prior to this shift, a view broadly implied that someone had watched a significant portion of a piece of content, enough to be considered engaged. It might not have been a strict scientific metric, but it carried an implicit understanding of genuine interest. Then, Netflix quietly, subtly, changed the rules of the game. A view became any account that watched at least 2 minutes of a title. 2 minutes. Think about that for a moment. Imagine you're scrolling through your endless Netflix recommendations. You click on a flashy new action movie. The opening scene plays, maybe a car chase, maybe a dramatic monologue, but after exactly 120 seconds, you realize it's just not for you. You hit back, return to the main menu, and forget about it entirely. In the old world, that was a non-event, a quick glance, a missed connection. But in Netflix's new world, that brief, fleeting interaction was logged as a successful view. Those 2 minutes, devoid of any genuine engagement, satisfaction, or completion, were now contributing to the astronomical total hours viewed metric. It's like a restaurant suddenly deciding that anyone who walks through the door and looks at the menu for 2 minutes, even if they never order anything, counts as a dined customer. Or a bookstore reporting that every person who picks up a book and skims the first 2 pages is a reader. It fundamentally distorts the reality. What changed when this new metric became paramount? Before, success was about the deep engagement that led to completion, to returning for the next episode, to evangelizing a show to your friends. After this shift, success became about initial clicks, about enticing you to sample, about any brief flicker of curiosity, no matter how shallow or short-lived. This allowed Netflix to present a narrative of robust, sustained, even growing engagement, even as qualitative metrics like actual show completion rates or the number of viewers finishing entire seasons might have been telling a far more concerning story. Suddenly, the platform could boast billions of hours of viewing, a number so large it felt impossible to question, without ever truly revealing how much of that was genuine, captivated attention versus merely fleeting, exploratory clicks. You, the viewer, by merely browsing through their expansive library, were unknowingly contributing to this carefully constructed illusion of success. Your brief moments of indecision or mild curiosity became valuable data points, inflating metrics designed to reassure investors, not necessarily to reflect the depth of your satisfaction. This tactic reveals three critical insights into how the tech industry often operates. First, metrics are not objective truths. They are powerful narrative tools. Companies don't just report data, they actively select, define, and massage it to tell a specific, advantageous story. When a company suddenly pivots to a new metric or subtly redefines an old one, your antennae should immediately go up. The question should never be just, what's the number? But always, how is that number actually measured? What assumptions, what definitions underpin it? Is it truly reflecting value or merely reflecting the path of least resistance to a positive headline? Second, this highlights the illusion of endless choice. Netflix boasts an absolutely enormous library, tens of thousands of hours of content. That vastness is often presented as a core benefit, a reason to subscribe and stay. But if a significant portion of that content is only ever sampled for 2 minutes, if it functions more as scroll bait than actual entertainment, then the true value proposition shifts. The sheer volume becomes less about profound cinematic experiences and more about maintaining a constant churn of shallow engagement, hoping to catch a few 2-minute views along the way. It's a strategy designed to appear abundant, even if deeper satisfaction is declining. And third, it exposes Wall Street's inherent vulnerability to this kind of manipulation. Financial markets, often driven by quarterly reports and easily digestible numbers, can fall prey to the latest shiny metric without fully scrutinizing its foundational definitions. Investors, under pressure to make quick decisions, might chase a growth narrative without truly understanding the corporate alchemy behind it. This creates a fertile ground for companies to play metrics games, controlling perceptions and delaying the inevitable reckoning. This isn't merely a tale about Netflix's corporate maneuvering, it's a stark illustration of a broader, more insidious trend across the entire digital economy. When the definition of attention becomes so diluted, when a 2-minute glance counts as a success, it fundamentally distorts the very concept of value in the attention economy. It creates a system where companies are incentivized to capture fleeting, shallow engagement rather than fostering genuine, deep, and meaningful user experiences. Think about the implications for content creators themselves. If the goal is no longer to captivate you for an entire film or a full season, but simply to hold your interest for a mere 120 seconds, what does that do to the art of storytelling? What becomes of nuance, of slow burns, of complex character development? It incentivizes flashy intros, shock value, and quick hooks over enduring quality. It risks degrading the cultural landscape, pushing everything towards the lowest common denominator of immediate, ephemeral gratification. It subtly reshapes our very understanding of what it means to truly engage with anything on any platform. If we don't demand more robust definitions of success, we allow this kind of strategic ambiguity to permeate every corner of our digital lives, slowly eroding the genuine value of our time and attention. Understanding this manipulation isn't just about Netflix, it's about gaining a critical lens through which to view every claim made by every tech giant. The next story we expose will reveal an even more insidious tactic used to control the flow of information itself, forcing you to question everything you see online.